Hello there. Did you ever ride the Star Wars themed ride at a Disney park that was known as Star Tours? Welcome to Unboxing the Boxes, my Star Wars collection. This is episode 114, the Star Tours action figures of the early 2000s. Whenever your plans call for intergalactic transport, call on Star Tours for state-of-the-art travel excitement. Tour the galaxy aboard the Star Speeder 3000. And once you end your tour, you'll go through the gift shop. There you will be able to purchase action figures of your favorite Star Tours droids. I was able to collect these figures in the years 2002, 2003, and 2005. They were nice additions to my collection. Just keep in mind, these figures came out over 10 years before Disney acquired the Star Wars brand. Let's find out what these figures look like 20 years ago after you hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. Ready to begin? Let me get these out of the box and we'll find out what these droids look like. The Star Tours action figures seem to come out in series of 3 figures. Now in 2002, they came out with 2 series of 3 figures. So there was a Collection 1 and a Collection 2. In 2003, as far as I know, there was only the 3 action figures. And in 2005, there was only the 3 action figures. So in total, I have 9 different action figures here to show you. So let's begin back in 2002 with the green carded figures. In addition to what I read at the beginning, because that actually came off the cards, it says, tour the galaxy aboard the Star Speeder 3000, the most advanced transport vessel of its kind, and experience the expertise of the sector's newest and most reliable droid pilots. If you've ever been on this ride, you know they were not the most reliable. Reservations are limited, so book your Star Tours adventure today. Well, the first one here I've got to show you is R3-D3. Basically, a little astromech droid that looks a lot like another droid that we know of. He looks remarkably like R2-D2, except that his dome is clear, so you can actually see the gears and gizmos inside his head. So there we have it. R3-D3. The next one in Collection 1 of the Star Tours series is kind of a skinny looking droid known as G24T. G24T. And as you can see by looking at him, he's kind of a skinny thing, pretty much just nuts and bolts and pipes and different things. Got a couple eyes on top of that skinny little neck of his. And nothing overly special there, but kind of unique looking. You didn't see too many of his droid in the Star Wars franchise movies. So there we have it, G24T. The next one, I think you're going to be familiar with this one because he's still around Star Wars, although he now has a new job at Galaxy's Edge. And that would be our favorite droid, Rex, otherwise known as RX-24. So Rex was, if I remember right, I think Rex was the pilot at that time. He wasn't too bad a pilot, he wasn't too great a pilot, but he did get the cruise back safely without too much damage. And he's the largest of the 3 here, really, the heaviest one out of them. Pretty much a very unique looking droid for his time. Like I said, now pretty much everybody who knows Star Wars at Galactic's Edge in Disney World and Disneyland know who Rex is because he's a DJ now. Kind of, I don't know if that was a move up on his part or maybe a move down based on his piloting skills. I do have a 4th one from Collector's One. Because I liked Rex so much, I actually bought 2 of them. So there we have it, the first 3, otherwise known as Collection 1 from 2002. Let me get these off to the side. We'll move to Collection 2. All right, with collection 2, we've got 3 other droids that you probably saw as you were walking through the queue line trying to get to your transport. The first one of these is R4M9, another astromech droid. As you can see, very much like R2-D2 on the bottom. Of course, we got different coloration there, and we got the different head on the top. But there again, a very nice droid. If you like droids for your collection, this was a good place where you could get droids that year. So there he is, R4M9. We also have another skinny looking droid, and this was kind of a work droid if I remember right. In fact, we saw something similar to him when they re-released A New Hope and went into Maz Eisley. At least I think it was similar to this one. It kind of looks like him. This is WEG-1618, probably nicknamed Wedge. Kind of another unique looking droid. Just looking at him from the side there, I don't know if he's going to stand very well. He doesn't look like he's balanced very well. But again, a skinny droid to go along with the other skinny droid from Collection 1. The last one that we have here is kind of a boxy droid. DLX2. DLX2. And as you can see by looking at this one, kind of a tapered box with pretty much only one arm. So kind of more of a limited type droid. Not really sure what his function is. You know, one thing they could have done with these is maybe put a little explanation of what the droid's responsibilities were along the thing. I don't remember exactly what all these droids did during the line and the ride, so if you know what all these droids' responsibilities were, leave a comment below. Refresh my memory for me. So that is collection 2 of 2002 Star Tours. Let's get these off to the side and we'll move on to 2003. Okay, as far as 2003 goes, if there was a second collection, I don't have them. But I do have at least these 3, and there's nothing on these that say anything about a second collection, so I have a feeling it's just the 3 of them. The first one we have is R5D2. Yep, that looks very familiar to a little droid we came to know in A New Hope. Not too bad looking. You do see he does have some, I don't know if you want to say battle damage or at least work damage to the side of him. Got some scar marks there. As far as his head goes, I don't see any little burn marks from blowing any gaskets or anything on top. But kind of a nifty looking, very well worn droid for your collection. The second one we have here is G29T. G29T. And there again, you'll see another skinny droid. Basically just nuts and bolts and pipes again. Now, is he the same as a previous figure? Well, let me just dig him out once. Because his cousin here, G24T, they look pretty much almost exactly the same, except this one has, the older one has red marks on the feet and on the head, and 9T has blue marks on the feet and on the head, and also has blue marks on the hand. So pretty much the same action figure, just colored slightly different and given a different name. We can sell more droids and make more money. You can just hear Mickey Mouse laughing in the sidelines because people like me would buy them. The last one of the 2003 is a completely different droid this time, known as SKZ38. SKZ38. And as you can see by looking at him, he is very different looking from what we are used to seeing with droids. In fact, his head looks somewhat bird-like, like he might peck you and poke an eye out or something. Here again, it's another droid. I don't think he's going to stand very well, although it does look like he does come with a plate down at the bottom, so maybe that'll help him stand better. But there we go. We've got one droid, very much similar to the previous years, and we could say 2 new droids to add to the collection. So there's 2003. Let's move on to the last batch, shall we? Now, I didn't get there to see if there was a difference in 2004, so we're going to move directly on to 2005. And the first one we have from 2005 here is another very different looking droid, MSE-1T. MSE-1T. And as you can see, looking at this one, this is kind of a floor-based model. He's going to kind of run across the floor a little bit on the side there. We got two eyes. We got two kind of pipes coming down. I don't know. This one almost looks like an afterthought for a design they put together a little bit, I think. Looks like something somebody maybe put together in the garage. I hate to say that, but he's just not enough Star Wars looky in my book. But he is one of the droids there. MSE-IT. The next one. Okay, our skinny little droids are getting a little bit of a different makeup here. This is 3T RNE. 3TRNE. And pretty much still one of those skinny droids. We still got the skinny neck, the eye stalks at the top, the skinny arms. But we got a little more armor, if you want to call it that, around the body of it. A little thicker chassis around it. There again, this year too, they didn't really write anything about what the duties of them are. It just says the fate of the Star Wars universe is in your hands, blah, blah, blah. Same thing as the other things. But this one at least looks a little more Star Wars-y again, a little more than what I'd say this one does. And then, of course, we've got our muscular skinny droid, otherwise known as G35LT. G35LE. So, as you can see, once again, kind of not a whole lot of body per se, other than you can see the parts and so forth, because the body itself is not a whole lot to it. It's got the skinny arms again, the eye stalks coming out of the head. Only this time we have treads on the bottom, and that's how he moves around, is on treads. So no wheels, no legs, just treads. So there we have it. Once again, I don't remember exactly where these are all located. If you remember, leave a comment, let me know. But there we have it. The 3 droids from the 2005 Star Tours collection. What do you think of these 12 droids? One thing I can tell you, and I don't know why I did, because maybe I figured it was the last time I was going to be at Disney World or something. It wasn't, by the way. As if you watched an earlier video, you know I was there last year. But these must have really caught my eye or something, because I hate to say it, but I bought a second one of each one of these. So, of the 2005 series, I have 2 sets. Well, there we have it. This is what I have in this box anyway for Star Tours from the early 2000s. What do you think of them? Like I said, there are some unique looking droids there. One that I don't think, well, maybe 1 or 2 that don't really seem Star Wars-like to me, but the rest of them seem to fit in with the world fairly well. That is all I have for you this time around. So until next time, may the Force be with you, and keep collecting.